Thank you. All right, and welcome to the City of North Miami Code Enforcement hearing. Today is March 6, 2019, and I am Beatrice Cazot, Special Magistrate for the City of North Miami. The purpose of this hearing is to determine if a code violation exists at your property as observed and cited by a code enforcement officer of the city. If the city is not able to prove its case, then I will dismiss the case and you may leave. These proceedings are being recorded, therefore all persons who are speaking should do so one at a time to ensure that all testimony is clearly audible on the recording device. If English is not your primary language, then please inform me when I call your case. We have a translator who will assist you during the proceedings. When your case is called, the property owner, agent for the property owner, and any witness that you may have should come forward to the podium on the left side of the room. When asked, please speak directly into the microphone and say aloud your name, your business or mailing address, and your relationship to the property. If you are not the property owner or an attorney representing the property owner, then you must present a notarized power of attorney affidavit in order for your testimony to be taken on behalf of the property owner. For new cases, you will be asked for the record if you are aware of and understand the violation that is being heard today. And do you understand what is required to resolve the violation? Please answer accordingly. The city will present its case first, and then the property owner and or violator will be given an opportunity to testify on their own behalf, to bring forward witnesses to testify, to present evidence and photographs, and to cross-examine the city's witnesses. Following the case presentation, I will issue a finding of fact on the case. If I find that a violation of city codes exists or existed at your property, then depending on the case type, I will set an abatement date for the violation to be resolved. Or for repeat violations, I will impose a daily fine amount. For new, non-repeat cases, my order will include an abatement date by which you must resolve the violation and a daily fine amount that I may impose at a future hearing date should the violation not be resolved by the abatement date. If I find sufficient cause to postpone enforcement action at this time, I will table this case proceeding to another hearing date in the future. If you do not agree with my finding of fact and or ruling, then the property owner may appeal the administrative order on the case to the circuit court. An appeal must be filed within 30 days of the date of the execution of the administrative order to be appealed. In accordance with Florida statutes, if a person decides to appeal any decision made by the special magistrate with respect to any matter considered at these proceedings, then the person will need a verbatim record of the proceeding. This record includes the testimony and evidence upon which the appeal is to be based. The cost of obtaining the verbatim record shall be the sole responsibility of the appellant, and it is recommended that persons who plan to appeal their case should provide their own court reporter at those proceedings. Pursuant to city codes, if the city of North Miami prevails in prosecuting a case before the special magistrate, the city shall be entitled to recover all costs incurred in prosecuting the case. The current cost assessment amount is $100 per case. Once the city records an order that imposes a fine and authorizes a lien against the property, then the city will charge additional administrative fees to record and release the lien. If you are present and will be given testimony on a case, please stand and raise your right hand so the officer can administer the oath.
Testimony you are about to give in this proceeding will be the truth
Please state for the record if there are any additions, deletions, and/or any amendments to the hearing agenda.
Item number 9, CEGMP 2018-00117 is complied. Item 10, CESTA 2018-00009 is complied. Item number 11, CESTA 2018-00010 is postponed 1 month. Item 20, CEGMP 2018-00397 was an ownership change. Item 36, CEBPR 2019-00001 is postponed 1 month, and those are all the amendments to the agenda.
Great. Whenever you're ready, you may call your first case.
Item number 12, Cynthia Shappy. Ernst Baptiste is the officer. The case number is CESSP 2018-00294. Item number 12.
Good evening, ma'am. Please state your full name and relationship to the property.
Valerie Marie Beloff. I'm the daughter-in-law of the owner of the property. I
Okay.
didn't know that I needed, this is her son.
Okay.
We
Sir,
did-
please state your full name for the record.
Leonard John Shappy Jr.
Okay.
Ernst Baptiste, City North Miami Code Enforcement Officer. This is a case that was opened back in November 2017 for having storm shutter covered all windows. Property was posted on February 14, 2019.
Just a second. Can you correct the record? You said November 2017?
2018, November
Okay.
2018.
Okay.
Property was posted on February 14, 2019. Took picture of the property on February 27, 2019.
And they will comply.
Hmm?
I raised all the shutters.
We
And-
never
and-
got the
and
first
we never
notice
got any of
until
it.
they knocked on our door and gave it
No,
to
he
us.
did knock on my door. He just hung the plastic little bag because I'm always home.
But the first notice we never got in
Never did
November
receive. And there are 2 other houses on my block
that have the same
that has
issue.
the same thing, and they're not in this courtroom. So why is my house targeted? And they had the same kind of
Well, you-
shutters. See,
Yeah.
but it isn't like that right now. It isn't like that.
Go back to the microphone.
It isn't like that now, and it hasn't been like that since I got.
As the proceeding of code enforcement, we have an abatement date as of February 27. That's when I took those pictures. That's how it was. So I'm submitting those pictures.
Okay.
And also, ma'am, I have someone that's looking in our windows, and that's the reason why, and I got a police report that I could also bring in. The reason why the shutters were down, and I even got the shutters pressure cleaned, my house pressure cleaned, so they were not nasty looking and down. And we were in proceeding of painting them. But my issue is, why is my house and 2 other houses on the same block?
Please.
All right. I don't know what's going on with your
Yeah,
neighbors'
I just-
houses.
He knows the house. It's the brown house with the shutters down, and it's only 2 houses down from my house.
All right. Whether or not there is any outstanding violation regarding your neighbors' houses, that's not.
It's not
Being
my issue,
here,
I know,
correct.
but I've corrected what he asked me to, and he doesn't have the pictures, and it's been done longer. It may have been
I
done-
understand,
it
but
may have
did you
been done the
contact
same
him?
day.
Relax.
Did you contact him to let him know that
I
it's
don't
been
have-
resolved?
No, I didn't. I didn't know I had to.
The day we
Okay,
got-
well, that probably could have saved your trip down here, because then he could have went by and basically confirmed for the record that it's done, and he would have taken it off calendar.
Okay.
Because now what I have to do is give him an opportunity. Do you want an opportunity to go back, or do you want to close it?
No, we need to find them in violation because we gave him, we have an abatement date. If we do our inspection, the violation is not
We
corrected.
never got the
Wait a
first
minute,
notice.
we never got any other notice. and-
Okay, you have to give him an opportunity to testify, and then I'll give you an opportunity to respond. Go ahead, Mr. Jean-Baptiste.
When I went to post on February 27, 2019, the shutter was down. That was the abatement date.
Okay.
It wasn't corrected, so we move on with the case. And we're not allowed to come here and say case is complied because we don't do inspection the day of the hearing anymore.
Okay.
So as of February 2017, 2019, they were still in violation.
Okay. So you're saying that you had given them a deadline, an
Yes,
abatement date.
abatement date, yes.
Okay. So can you provide to them a copy of the notice that you provided to, either you posted or mailed?
Yeah, posted.
Okay.
The one that they have.
Yeah, but ma'am, I've only received one letter in a plastic bag,
That's the posting.
and
that
that
has the
was the
abatement
only
date on
one
it.
I got. That was the only
Okay.
one.
So
As
what
soon
the
as I
officer
got
is saying, that's the one that he gave you.
He didn't give me it. He put it
The
on
one
my
that
door.
we posted. That's the posting that we do.
He
We
didn't
go
know
to the
Yeah,
we
but
go to the house and we post.
if we would've got the
Do me a
first
favor.
notice,
Right, yeah, I
we
would've-
would've complied after the
Way
first
before
notice.
now.
Call my home, because they keep calling me, I don't know what's going on. Call them, let me step out, find out
And
what's
me
going
and
on.
him has talked also about the cats in the area. This man isn't a stranger to me. He knows, he's talked with me. You talked with me whenever they were doing work next door to me with Balt and Mr. Smith. That was your friend. We've talked before, don't I mean, sir, I
We-
mean,
All right, okay, guys, please pass forward what you have, posted on their property with the, abatement date. Show it to them first.
I don't know if it's I'm gonna take his word, whatever, but this was a letter like this, ma'am, was in a
Yeah,
bag, like that.
please.
And it was only one letter I received.
And what, that letter, that one letter that you received, what did it say?
It said my shutters needed to be pulled up, and soon as I got that, I said, and it said the date, March 6th, that I had to come here. I complied, and then somehow we got another one delivered through, UPS, and we complied. And soon as I was recognized with a letter that I was given at my door, I complied to what he needed me to do. And this is, I've done it it's not been done, it's been done in the last 3 months, 3 weeks to a month. It's how long it's been. That's after I get the letter. Please, I'm sick of being picked on.
Alright, I'm not gonna read the entire thing. Tell me where it talks about the abatement date. Oh. Got you. Tell me where in this 3-page documents that you gave them until the abatement date of, February 27th.
Judge, also if you look at section 2, it says the moment that they've complied to call that number to give them a call to go re-inspect it. So if they complied ahead of time, they could have called.
We've
What-
never had to deal with any of this. We don't.
Where, just tell me, I'll go to it. Okay, here.
We've had the house 30 years. We've never had any of this issue before. We own the home. The home's paid for. We've never had an issue.
We usually, summertime, keep them down because it keeps the house cooler, and wintertime, put them back up.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I've never had this for
Never.
30 years.
Okay.
And if I knew it was not the March 6th, that's when I thought the deadline was, I would have done it way before then. I mean, it's not something that I was just being defiant and just trying to be.
I will table it and do my inspection and see if we can close the case. If
No
we-
problem. Okay. Ma'am, sir, we're going to table it, and give the officer an opportunity to go by the house, inspect it, make sure that you are in compliance, and then he will close the file.
Can I ask one question? please?
Sure.
I do have I have a pretty tree with a flower. I can't raise one. If you
No, I
wanna
can
get,
get
if I
it up.
have to, I will cut it down. I just wanna address it now since this is the gentleman, and if it has to be done, if I have to cut my tree down with a flower, it's holding the.
I have absolutely no idea. It's something that you
Is
need
that
to talk to
something-
him outside of this proceedings here. You can talk to the officer in the back, outside, about your tree.
All right, whenever
Okay.
he's in the area, he can just knock and let me know what I need to do.
No problem. Have a good one. Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is Regina Vlasek. She has item 34 and 35. Ernst Baptiste is the officer. The first case is CERCV 2018-00246, and the second case is CEWWC 2018-00156, items 34 and 35.
All right.
Hi.
Good evening. Please state your full name and relationship to the property.
Regina Vlasic, property owner.
Okay. Is the gentleman going to be talking?
He lives in the house also, so if
Okay.
he needs to, I suppose. Do you want him to talk?
Okay, just for the record, in case you want to add something or testify to.
My name is Marfred Santisteban. I also live in the house.
Okay.
Ernst Baptist, City North Miami Code Enforcement Officer. This is a case that was two cases. One was cases was open on November 28, 2018. November 28, 2018. For boat that is parked on the property, and also for a tarp on the roof. Did my inspection.
We're gonna do one at a time, right?
Hmm?
One case at a time?
Sure.
Did my inspection on February 14, 2019. Posted the property on February 14. Took picture of the violations.
Does that
When we do
apply
it
to
first.
both cases?
Yes,
Okay, so you posted the property
same
on
day.
same day?
Yes.
Okay.
And I took pictures.
All right, we can start with whichever one you wish to start with.
Okay, first, he just gave a date of November. And the only notification that I ever received was mailed on February 25th, and it's dated February 11th. So I never received any kind of notification other than the certified mail that came in, and I don't know where he got a November date from, but this is the first notification. It's a little more than a week for me to prepare anything, and I guess I want to do the boat one first. Our property does not have a backyard at all. We have a side yard. So our house has 10 feet to the neighbor's property line. Our yard is to the side yard. So we purchased the house in 2005, and since 2005, we've had the boat parked in front of the garage, is what you see. It's behind our property line, but it is in the side yard. I wasn't aware that we needed any other kind of variance or any of those things. The boat's been parked, I mean, they've been parked there forever. They're both in working order. They both work. They're parked in front of our garage on concrete. I actually brought my own pictures, which look a lot better than those pictures. However, I have to agree with the person before of not receiving a notice and not really, there's no date on the piece of paper that I received that says when we need to comply by. So I was assuming that I needed to come here to figure out what was going on, which is why I'm here. Number 2 does say that if you've complied, however, it doesn't say comply by this date. It says if you've complied, call this number. So I'm not really sure. I mean, I know that when we had work done on the house and things like that, we've gone down to the city and pulled the permit for it when we did our driveway and everything, and the windows and everything else. However, I was a little confused as to why we were getting a notification for the boat when it's been parked there forever on our concrete in front of our yard behind the property line for so long. I'm choosing to do the boat first because the roof is a whole nother issue.
I figured that much. All right, so your testimony is that you did not get the notice from the November
I know nothing about
date.
anything in November.
November.
I'm producing those 2 letters. Those are the letters that was mailed out.
Okay.
And instructing them about the violation.
Okay.
This is the one that I received, and if you see the date that the one that you're giving me, the date is February 25th. I have this one in my hand. Where's the copy of when it
Go
was
back to
mailed?
the
Before the certified mail was sent out, they received a notice of violation. And it's clearly stated on this one that they needed to correct the violation by December 10th.
I never received any notice. The only thing I ever received was certified mail. On the paper that he's showing you as proof, it says certified mail sent February 25th.
Well,
That's his.
All right. Let me see.
Until I got this notice, I didn't even know that I needed to file a variance because on here it says a variance. But because I just got it, I didn't really have time to do that before March 6th.
Okay.
It can't possibly be that hard to apply for a special permit to have your boat in your yard, so.
All right, so the notice of violation, even though it doesn't have a date, but it did say on, that the violation was observed on 11/28. And then at the bottom, it says reinspection scheduled for December 10th, 2018. Watertight and watertight condition violation. Please repair roof, remove blue tarp before reinspection.
I don't have a
Okay.
copy of anything from November. of
So,
the inspection. Doesn't say
The,
it on the
just for the record, so for clarification, this notice of violation was both posted and mailed,
Mailed only.
mailed only?
Yes.
Okay. So what you have done today is, actually, when you sent the notice to appear
It's the
via
one that is
certified
posted.
mail, you attach a copy of the notice of violation that was previously sent to the property owner. Is that correct?
The posting don't have the notice of violation with it.
What
They
I'm
receive
saying
it.
is, this is what you sent certified mail, right? This 3 documents.
The clerk.
I'm,
Y-
oh,
yeah.
okay, is it the clerk?
sent it,
Okay.
yeah.
So the clerk,
We send that
Madam Clerk,
certified with
you
the
sent
notice
this
of violation.
certified mail.
Yes,
So you're sending the notice of the hearing
to appear, yes.
to appear, and attached to that is the notice of violation that was mailed to them prior to that to give them an opportunity to remedy the violation.
That's not the original notice of violation. The original notice of violation is sent by the officers when they open up the case.
Mm-hmm.
When we print out the hearing docket, for them to appear in court, we send them a copy of whatever notice of violation prints out so that they know what the violation is.
Okay.
So it's not gonna have the same original date as when the case was opened. It's gonna have the date that we printed it, which is to appear at this hearing.
I think we're saying the same thing, but let me just try to thinking again. This one does not have a date at all, but it did specify that there was a violation that the officer observed the violation on 11/28/2018, and then basically tell them what the violation is and tell them what needs to be done, and said that we will to do it prior to reinspection, and it gives them a date at the bottom as to when the reinspection will occur. Don't tell me it's okay. I'm not testifying for the city. You guys need to tell me what's going on.
So then it does print the original notice that was mailed to the resident.
Okay, that's what I thought.
We sent all of this to them certified.
Okay, so again, for the record, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is the original. When I say original, I'm just saying that this is a copy of what was mailed
Mailed to them.
originally when you
Yes.
first observed the violation.
Correct.
This was sent to the property owner,
Correct.
correct?
Yes.
And basically it says that on this date, I observed this violation.
Correct.
And then you give them a section of the statute, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that reads that what the violation is,
Correct.
and then there's a section here that says this is what you need to do to remedy the situation,
Yes.
and then that I will come back to reinspect.
Yes.
That it has to be done prior to the reinspection date.
Yes.
At the very bottom of the same page, there is a reinspection scheduled date.
Yes.
Am I correct here?
You co-
Am I right?
yes.
Okay, so now this was sent, and then subsequently, this entire package was mailed again via certified mail,
Yes.
which includes the hearing date for this hearing
Mm-hmm.
and a copy of what was previously mailed.
Yes.
And attached to it is, I see a receipt. Is it the receipt for the certified mail?
Yes.
All right,
Judge, if I-
okay. Go ahead, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Okay, so I only just received this. Basically, what I'm asking for is more time so that I can file whatever variance is needed to
Okay,
comply.
okay.
Judge,
Go ahead.
So for, as it relates to, the variance for the boat,
I'm not ready yet. You have to. Huh? Yes, I do. I'm not done yet.
Is this,
still
is
in the
this a
middle
new
of this
code
case.
that was just implemented that I haven't heard about it since before 2005?
Do you need this?
No.
No.
Okay.
As it relates to the 2018-00246, the recreational vehicle violation for the variant, if they wish to apply for it right now, they're not going to be able to get one. So we're going to be asking to postpone it at least 30 days. There's a workshop that's going to be conducted on March 28th, so we'll have a better understanding of what we're going to do moving forward. But right now, they wouldn't be able to qualify for it anyways.
But why do you say that we wouldn't qualify for it?
It's just period, everyone across the board, not just you. It's something that we've stopped doing. So there's going to be a meeting regarding what's going to happen moving forward on that date. So I'm asking for a postponement so you'll know more information
I mean,
as to what to do.
I get it, to clean up North Miami, you don't want boats in somebody's front yard or along the side of their house, but in our case, it's in our backyard. It's in front of our garage. Our garage is, 20 feet from the house. It's parked on cement, and it's behind the property line.
That's what's going on right now.
So how
in
do we
terms of the-
comply?
In terms of, that's the issue. There's no way of you complying right now because it's been stopped recently. So after that date, you'll know a little bit more how to proceed. I wouldn't want you to leave here thinking you can go apply for it and it'll be okay.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so I guess if we can postpone it for 30 days after that date, they'll be able to have more information as to how to
Okay.
proceed.
I'm fine with
Good.
that.
All right. So we'll table it 30 days. You want the one for the vehicle?
Yeah, that's the one that's going to be postponed.
No, I thought. Oh, I'm sorry. I see what you were saying. Okay, I gave you the wrong one. Okay.
Now,
All right, so that's that one. What's going on with the roof?
regarding the roof, we put a tarp on the top of the building because we saw a water spot and it was damaged in the hurricane when a mango tree fell on top of the house. We filed it with the insurance company, who did not cover the claim, and now we have Lance Harkey in Miami Shores, who's representing us in it. The last court date against the insurance company was postponed, and now they're doing it again. But I'm not in a position to pay out of pocket $25,000 to put a brand new roof on my house when I've paid insurance all of these years. So, the roof, the tarp at the time that I guess that he came out, had a blue tarp. We replaced it with a brand new tarp, but I really don't know how we can comply to this until we go to court and our attorney, I actually called the attorney when I received this. He wanted to be here. He couldn't be here, and he asked me to have this postponed so that he could speak on the case on our behalf.
I actually know Mr. Lance Harkey. I know your lawyer. She said that they have replaced the tarp, obviously temporarily. This case is pending in circuit court.
There's a class
what we've
action
done-
lawsuit against the against citizens for the properties that they didn't cover in the hurricane.
What we have done in the past in terms of roof, where there's an insurance claim pending and there's a pending lawsuit, I typically give some 30, 60 days just to come back and see where we are in the process.
I don't think that
Fine
we'll
with
have
me.
the roof repaired in 30 days. We have a bunch of estimates. Obviously, we don't want the roof to collapse or to leak on us. We put a tarp there just as a precaution, but the tarps don't last long, so we have to change it. At the time that he came out, it said blue, so I know it was probably bad. We have replaced the tarp with a brown one, but we're just waiting. They keep pushing it back, the court date, so we're waiting for that to happen for them to pay.
Isn't it so long that it's in good condition, the tarp?
No, it's
Not-
remove tarp, repair roof. That's what we explained. That's what we said.
I mean, we can replace the tarp, but it's not leaking inside of our house yet. Our roof, the side where the tree took out half of it has, but really what's the sense in replacing that? I don't know what it's called.
The fisher board and the soft.
When the whole roof needs to
water-
be done.
It's water. So it's the
All right, so there's a case pending right now. What I'll do is I'll reset it. When is your next court date?
I honestly don't know. It was supposed to be 2 weeks ago, and they pushed it back. I don't know what the next date is. It might be in like a week or two. But I don't go to court there. They're hearing all the cases together in Naples because it's a class action case.
All right. Does the city have any objection to tabling it for 60 days? All right. All right, 60 days. Good luck
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thanks.
The next case on the agenda is item 18, Eclair Michael. Wayne Clark is the officer. The case number is CEFAW 2018-00351. Item number 18.
Please state your full name in relationship to the property.
Excuse me?
State your name.
Oh, I'm the owner of the property. My name is Marie C. Michel.
Wayne Clark, City of North Miami Code Compliance. This case is in reference to a fence. The fence had mildew, dirt, and faded, and it needed to be pressure cleaned and repainted. At the time of the reinspection, the final reinspection of February 27, 2019, the property is not in compliance. This is the first time that I have come upon the owner of the property, and the violation was actually opened on, let me see here, give me 1 second, I believe it was January, no, actually it was opened on November 21st, 2018, and the recheck date, the first recheck date was December 17th, 2018. And at that time, it still wasn't in compliance. And I've still had no conversations or contact from the owner. And then I went back out there February 12th, 2019 to post it with proper notice at 2:30 p.m. And it still wasn't in compliance. February 27th again, at the final reinspection, still wasn't in compliance. And the city is asking to that the fines go forward from the time of the final reinspection date. So as of that reinspection date, the final date, it was not in compliance. So
Anything you want to pass up?
anything I want to pass up, I'd like to submit the photos for the record.
Yeah, everything is good now. Everything is paint. It's the fence is already paint. So I have my picture.
Okay, just a second.
Again, I need to reiterate, at the time of the reinspection, it was not in compliance, and it takes a lot of time from the officers to keep going back and forth,
Yeah, because I
and
do
we
not
don't
receive.
have no communications
I do not
from
receive
the
any letter.
homeowners.
Allow the officer to.
Yeah, we,
to,
you know, like I say, all it took was a phone call or this and that, and there's no communication. Like I say, from the time of the initial notice until the date, right now, the present, it's my first time, seeing anybody claiming responsibility for the property.
Show her the
The notice?
notices. Yes.
Okay. I'd like to submit the notice for the record,
Sure.
first showing the defendant.
Mhm.
So did you send letter on the December 17th? I do not receive any letter. I do not receive anything. I just received this one only, and then I just paint the fence. That's it. I received, and I did not receive any phone call either.
So there have been several re-inspections at dates on the property.
You said you've been there twice, correct?
Probably more than that. I'm quite sure it's more than that.
Did you see anyone?
Did I see anyone?
Yeah. Nobody.
Not at the property.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I don't have to see
But-
you if I send a notice in the mail.
Yeah, but I just received this letter only. That's the one I received. But the first one you said it to me, I have no idea about it. I received this.
Okay,
And
but
that's
even
it I
at
received.
but
That's
even
it.
at that
And
point,
then I already painted the fence already. So
I ain't go-
I just received this one only. That's it. I don't know about the other one. Just send it to me.
when did you receive that, ma'am?
When I received this one,
Yeah.
the day you sent it. That's the day I received it.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
from that day to now, I could have got a phone call or something.
Did you give me a phone call?
Yes, I mean, if you handle your business, that would be adequate to call the officer and say, "Hey, look here, this, that, and the other," or
So
something.
do you try to tell me? So you left your phone in my house, or what? What did
It's
you
on
do?
that paper right there.
All right.
So why I have to give you a phone call and then you told me to do something and I did it? So why I have to give you a phone call again?
How is he to know that you're in compliance? This
Huh?
is your house.
No,
How
I
is
kept,
it to
no,
know
no,
that you,
today I went there today, but they told me that
Today.
I have to come here at 6 o'clock.
that's because
you know,
it's your hearing. This is what you guys are not understanding. You want to go back and forth and banter with the officer. If you receive a notice of violation and you are fortunate enough to fix the violation, basically you have remedied the violation. What does it cost? It would have been a lot easier to pick up the phone and call the officer and say, look, I've done everything that you're asked me to do. What's next? That way he can say, okay, I'm going to come by and see whether or not you're in compliance. That way you don't have to leave work to come here. Isn't that easier?
yeah, it is. But the thing is, today I went, the address, where I
Sir,
used
put
to
your
be.
hands down. This is not your case.
So where I used to be, they told me
Is
that
this your client?
no.
Okay.
They told me that, so I have to go over there, like 125th. But I said, okay, what I'm supposed to do. But the lady told me that, so I have to come here at 6. I say, you know what? I don't have, who I'm supposed to call to check the fence for me. They say, no, I have to come here at 6 o'clock for the hearing. I say, okay. I'm coming at 6 o'clock. That's it.
What is the city looking for?
But the
What is
fence,
the city asking?
the fence already
We
painted.
recover
Everything
costs
is
from
good.
the time of the reinspection to put this case together from the time of the reinspection to now. And,
And what is the recover cost? Is there an amount?
I have no idea. They want the fines to go forward in reference to our time and efforts to work the case and whatnot. And from the time of the that's why they're giving a final reinspection date. And look, that's more than enough time because they're giving reinspection date on the letter and then another final reinspection date. And she said she didn't have notification prior to the notice to appear. Well, how
This
she know to
one.
paint the fence? How did she know to paint the fence?
Why should I know? Because I received the letter. I have to, this one I have to paint the fence right
That's
here.
why I asked you when you received the letter, what day?
So when I
Yesterday,
didn't,
last
I
week?
didn't, I don't remember the day I received it, but I know it went the day I received it, and then I read everything you said, and then I paint the fence. I pay someone, like, $200 to paint it for me. So today I went there and they told me I
Speak
have
into
to
the
come
mic.
here.
I can't hear. Go ahead.
Do you have photos of the
Yeah,
fence?
sure, definitely.
Can we see it? We haven't even seen
The
fence. Can
final,
you show the officer?
the final product. And I'm quite sure it's probably, recover court costs and stuff for,
Right here.
Yeah, it looks good from that angle.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
They charged me $300 to paint it.
Okay.
So now, Special Magistrate, you kind of get what's going on here is that we're putting forth all our efforts and time, going back and forth, and then at the last minute, Everybody's in compliance. And that's not fair to the officer that works very hard and diligently to get the residents and the business owners to come into compliance. And, you know, it's just, you know, the city's, I mean, it's just like a game. And we're just tired of it. We are hard, we work very hard. All of us work very hard at our jobs, and some. Then to have folks come in here at the last minute, you understand? That's not fair to us at all. To say that they didn't get notice, and all of a sudden everything comes out now when, you know, I know that it had to be proper notice given prior to the notice to appear, because when was the notice, you know, the notice to appear was sent out. Let's just say they have, by law, we have to give them 10 days or more for notification.
I can enter an adjudication because the violation existed at the time of the last inspection.
Exactly.
The issue that I'm having here is that you guys are not giving me an amount in terms of what you're asking in terms of costs, recovery costs.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the recovery cost?
I mean, I couldn't tell you that. That's not my place to tell you that. Make a
So how is
issue with that.
the
Maybe
owner supposed
the
to
clerk
know
could
if they're
chime in.
coming out here with a bill of
me?
$300? How is the owner to know if they're coming out with a bill of $300 or $3,000?
Code Officer Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Office. I would state that the fine would be whatever it is that you would usually assess if you were adjudicating it, if it was non-compliance. If it was going to be $50 a day until compliance, $100, whatever you would have.
Yeah,
And-
but the way we usually do it is give notice that you have, this is what will be assessed at a future date, future hearing, if this violation is not resolved by the abatement date. This is a new thing that you guys are asking for here. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Magistrate, whenever someone is guilty for the first time that they come to court, they're assessed costs, which is $100 for the administrative fee of the mailing and
Okay, so that's what we're talking about? Because that's not what you guys tell me.
I was assuming court costs at first.
Oh,
Correct,
that's
but
part
the
of
court
my
fee is
spill.
$100 every time they come and they're found guilty. If they are fined, it's another $100 cost assessment besides whatever fine you have running at that time. So for her, since she's the first time coming to court, it would be $100 court cost because she's been found guilty.
Okay, that's almost automatic to me. Okay, so is that what we're talking about? All right, so that was part of my introduction, that there will be court costs and the assessment
Yes.
cost is $100. So that's what's being assessed? That's it?
Thank you for shedding light on that, Pilar.
Okay, all right, so court cost. So adjudication plus court cost, and that's $100. All right. Do you understand, ma'am?
No, I don't know. I'm not really understanding clear what you say. Cause I have to pay $100.
Correct.
Why I have to pay $100?
I find that you were in violation.
Yeah, but
And-
what he's supposed to me, what he want me to do, I did it already.
Understood. However, the testimony before me was that this violation was observed back in November. Let me make sure I'm talking to the right. Okay. November 2018, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So from November 2018, when the notice of violation was sent, you were given an abatement date of 12. I don't have any of the documents before me,
I'm
so you're
sorry,
going to
you
have
want
to
back?
help me out here.
Uh,
Tell me
Dec-
what the abatement date was.
December, the original
Correct.
abatement, well, reinspection date was December 17, 2018.
Okay, so December
17.
17, 2018.
So
And you were not in.
So where is the paper? I said I do not receive any paper. This is the last one I received. I didn't receive any paper.
Okay.
I do not receive any paper. If I don't receive anything, why I have to pay $100 for something I do not receive?
All right.
And he can say that he can come like, or, too many times he wants. But he can say that. But did he have do I have a proof to tell him, how many times, he passed by? Did he see anyone in the house? But when he put this one by certified mail, I received the certified mail, but he can say like 3 or 4 letters, but I do not receive anything. I do not receive it. If I receive it, and I will do it. I do not receive it, that's it. Why I have to pay $100?
Well,
And
That's not fair.
that
and-
went to the same address.
No, that's not fair. That's not fair at all.
And
If I receive the letter the first time, I will do it. I don't have to do anything. I go, okay, the fence want me to pay, I will pay it. But I do not receive any letter from you.
And the second time you
That's
went
it. When you say
for
second time,
inspection?
you can say like 3rd time, 4th time, 5th time. But you don't receive anything from you on the mail.
I can't get a word out of edgewise.
Go ahead.
Gosh.
December 19, 2018, that's when I failed it for the court hearing.
Okay. Please give me the date of the certified mail.
The date of the certified mail.
You have the receipt? What was it, mail? What was it sent?
This says February 25th right here on the
Okay.
certified copy.
All right. So from February 25th to today, have you received any information, any calls, anything from the property owner informing you that she has complied with the violation?
Negative.
All right. So hence why we're here tonight, correct?
Yes.
All right. Again, adjudication plus court cost. Thank you, ma'am. Have a good evening. Next case.
The next item on the agenda is item 19, Idra Beckman. Shanna Sanders is the officer. The case number is CERCV 2018-00277. Item number 19.
Good evening. Please state your full name and relationship to the property.
My name is Indra Beckman, and I'm the owner of the property.
Thank you.
Richard Beckman, also owner property.
Shanna Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. This is a new case for the recreational vehicle that's parked at the property, more so an RV. I first cited the property owner December 26, 2018, sent a second letter to the property owner on January 11th, where the RV still remained, sent the final notice on the 28th. As of today, the RV still remains at the property. I'll let the property owner explain, what's going on with the RV and why is it still parked at the property.
The reason that the RV still park at my property is because my son was living in West Park. With the hurricane, he lost everything. He have 3 little children, his wife is bipolar, and he had nowhere to go. At the point in time, he looked around, he had moved out for a short period of time, but then in the winter time, in the summertime, he could park at the park. In the wintertime, he can't because everybody make reservation for the spot. So eventually, he came back. I went to Mrs. Sanders and I told her the position. My daughter-in-law, she is in and out of the hospital all the time. My son lose his job, he lose his house, he lose everything he had there. And this is what I've been telling her over and over. This is 3 little children. Can I take my grandchildren and put them out in the road? No. Where would he park the RV? Where would he get a spot to park the RV?
That's the same thing with the issue with the variance.
Okay, the
Yes,
violation on the inspection was 12/26 last year, 2018. We are not in town this time. We were in Pennsylvania for 2 weeks, which is this one here. Now, we went ahead, applied, we went to the city, asked for extension in February, back and forth, okay? We never received another one other than this here. Now, we got a certified one on the 11th of February, okay? We already went to the city, we paid for a variance, was this here. the receipt for variance. We had Amanda Murray come out Monday, take pictures of hedge out front, 3 feet above ground after planting, block the RV in. As he required, we did it. She puts forward pictures to the inspector sent us. And the paperwork.
I'm sorry, who gave me photos? Who's giving me
Amanda
photos?
Murray.
Amanda Murray.
As-
I
She
did
came
call
Monday.
her yesterday, and I told her, I said what went on and what didn't went on. I asked her, do I have to come to court still? She said, yes, I have to come to court. So here am I today.
Say that again, sir.
Can I show Amanda, this inspector?
Sure, show it to her. But you said you also applied, correct?
Yes, we
Show her the application or the receipt.
She showed me the application, and we did speak yesterday. As of today, I have not received any emails from Amanda Murray. She did state, the property owner stated that they were doing an inspection either Monday or Tuesday, and after that, they would inform me if the variance was issued. I explained to her, since the reinspection date was on February 27th, and at that time, no variance had been obtained. As I drove by, I still continue to see the RV there. But as of yesterday, I have not received anything from Amanda stating that they have issued the variance to these property owners.
Okay. Sure, go ahead. Speaking to the mic, you have to.
This ain't go back to the mic.
Okay. Speaking to the mic, and can you show the code enforcer? Code enforcer.
Let the record show. Please let the record show. He's showing me photos of the property, not so much the application.
What I want you to show her is the receipt.
Okay, she's showing me an application, but this isn't necessarily the receipt.
Show the receipt that has the date. That should have a date for you.
Okay, she's showing it. Showing here, she submitted the application on February 7th of 2019. What transpired when she came? You said you did a reinspection on Monday. What transpired?
This picture I sent for her also. Would like you to see them.
Go ahead.
Okay, the picture I showed you, and Amanda also has them. Date and time stamped on the 4th at 2:30 in the afternoon. It shows pictures of the RV with the hedges in front of the house, the west side of the house, and the picture of the address of the house also. The proof of the address for the pictures.
Okay. All right.
And my honor, I will tell you, from day one, I living in that place, on that address, I'm living there. I never had a problem with nobody. Not one of the code enforcement officers and them. I never had a problem with them with nothing. But Deputy Mrs. Sanders come here is every day she's down in the street. Every day she's down in that street. For what reason?
She's doing her work. You may be in compliance, but you don't know whether or not your neighbors down the road is also, or they're also in compliance. She's only doing her job, but you are doing what you need, what
yes,
she
I'm
asked
doing
of you
what
as
I
well.
need to do.
So exactly, you file for the variance, and you are in contact with the someone from the department, and so what we're going to do is reset it. And what's our next court date? It's on that April, May 1st? April the 3rd. Oh, I'm sorry. April 3rd. So we're going to table it for 30 days since the city is already handling it, and you're expecting some sort of correspondence or communication from that department, correct?
Yes, because I did send an email to Amanda, asking what was going on with the property. As of the day, I have not received any responses saying that the variance was issued or anything of that nature.
Okay, but more importantly is that they have applied.
Yes.
Okay. All right, ma'am, sir.
Thank you.
All
and
right.
Have a good night.
Best of luck to you guys.
The next case is item 26, Mario Novoa. Shanna Sanders is the officer. The case number is CERCV 2018-00225, item number 26.
Good evening, sir. Please state your full name and relationship
Good
to the
evening.
property.
My name is Mario Novoa.
All right.
What is your name? That's it.
That's it, sir.
Shannon
Um,
Sand.
I'm an owner for 1490 Northeast 132nd Road.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Shannon Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. This is a new case regarding a recreational vehicle, more so a boat that's parked in the front driveway of the property. I initially cited this property owner on October 26th of 2018, sent a second letter December 5th, another final letter January 16th. As of last week, February 27th, the final reinspection date, the boat still remains at the property. I am showing here that the property owner submitted an application to the city for the administrative variance on November 26th. As of today, the administrative variance still has not been issued. I did speak to Amanda Murray. I also emailed her. I wanted confirmation because she couldn't be here tonight, letting me know what was going on with the property and why the variance has been taking so long. She stated that she spoke with the property owner on February 8th, 2019, explained to him, what he needed to do in reference to putting up some type of screening in or putting some type of plants along the property. He stated that he understood and would call her back once he rectified the screening in or the plants. She stated, as of February 28th, she hasn't heard anything back from the property owner. As of last week, the 27th, and today, no variance has been obtained, and the boat still remains on the property. So I'll let the property owner explain what's going on with the boat, why there's no variance, and I'll show up pictures if you would like to see along with the email that was sent to me from Amanda, as in what's going on with the variance per Community Planning and Development's end.
All right. Sir? I'm right here. I'm over here.
No. Yeah, what she means to say, she has been doing her work, and I don't mind that she can travel every day in front of my house. Like, I'm seeing this, and this is a mess from the city to me, because, first of all, as soon as I see the first notice, I travel a lot because my family is out of town, and my mom has pretty much ill, and I talked to her about, and she gave me extensions, so forth. What I don't see here is what can say, like, you need to comply this, come to the city and do A, B, and C. Like, you have 30 days to comply, call us back once you fix the problem to proceed with an inspection. That will be common sense. For example, if you have your grass overgrown and you have a citation, you cut it, you don't call, I cut my grass. We are expecting this, the inspectors, code officers, code enforcement officers could come, like that is the job for them to do, and she was visiting the others roads every day. In our minds, I'm talking for the side of the residents. We think that these people are all around our roads all the time, so they are inspecting, like, per se daily, that
whether you're in compliance or not.
Mm-hmm. If we don't hear for them, we assume, which is wrong,
right?
That already they passed, they haven't sent me anything, but it never says in these letters, you have 15 days to comply. Call us and schedule an inspection. Would be so easy. Instead of, oh, you're the property owner, or do you think you can call? No, because they have their job to pass around the cities. That's what you think, So I feel sorry for the lady of the fence, because as you see, we are busy in our life and work 8 to 6. I leave at 7 in the morning. I don't have time to come here, and at 6 it's already closed. The city, I'm being calling. I mean, we think about going to work and doing our stuff, our children and stuff like that. So in reference to her, we have been working good. I never had a due date with the other lady to say, I'm new here, Mario. And I said, I cannot put my boat on the side. I've been living in my house 15 years. Like I said, all this is new for all the residents. I've been hearing all the residents. They're all the same complaint. Now they're enforcing out of the blue. And I think something else gonna go because I'm gonna talk to the councilman. I work also for the county. Now, I comply, and, I mean, I comply, they're going to come fix it, they don't tell me anything, problem is solved. First of all, when I pay, they don't even say like you have to get the variance, you have to pay so much money, whatever it is. And until I request the documents, I went online and get all the documents that she sent me. She kindly sent me all those documents. But from this, you cannot really tell what is entitled here, where you put your boat, like here, all the sizes and stuff. These are research that I did because I questioned that. I think it would be nice for the city that it said, go online on this. This one doesn't say
Okay.
what ordinance or what administrative order you're breaking.
Mm-hmm.
It only tells you a description. I mean.
Shouldn't you have more than one page? Everyone else has about 3 pages.
No, I have only one.
This is the hearing notice, or is this the notice of violation? The notice of violation tells you. Okay.
That looks to be the notice to appear. That's probably what I posted on the
Right.
property.
So I talked to her this morning. That she means to say, and I said I already complied. I said, well, you should have called. I didn't, because I explain you. The other lady that I spoke to, I asked her, what can I do? Because I was nervous to see what I was going to do to move the boat, because I never had a problem like all the past years. So my other 3 neighbors also on their same boat than me. They have boats and they are.
So you filed on what day?
I filed in November.
November 26th.
Once in November.
Oh, he filed for variance since November?
Yes, he filed an application.
They come now until now to tell me, oh, I mean, you need to do this. And said, to me, the variance was just a permit to park my boat, whatever I want. Because here doesn't say where you park it. You say you just need to get. So then she clarified and said, oh, no, there is more steps to do that. Because I thought that was it. Just paid the $280, I think it was. And I showed her that I paid that money. I came here. Nobody was there. She helped me out to pay the money because the people who received it hadn't arrived yet or
okay, so
whatever.
you paid
So
since
now,
November, and now what was it that you were supposed to do? You're in compliance?
I'm in compliance.
And okay. So you want to show it to, did you see the photographs?
He could show me the photographs, but he's not in compliance. Compliance means obtaining the administrative variance. As I spoke to him on the telephone today, and as I explained to him, and I want to show into record the email from Amanda, I spoke with the gentleman, as he said, I've been to the property several times. I educated them, and I'm looking at the letter that I even sent. I can't speak for any other officer, but I'm speaking for myself to say I specifically stated that the boat needed to be removed by the reinspection date. If you decide that the boat should remain at the property, an administrative variance must be obtained from Community Planning and Development. Compliance must be met before the reinspection date to prevent further action from being taken. I specifically state here, and I show here 3 different letters that I mailed him, listing back from October all the way up until February, notices, explaining to him, spoke to him on the phone. Amanda even states, per her email, she spoke with him January 7th and February 8th and explained to him exactly what he needed to do, explained to him about the screening, explained to him about putting up grass and trees and shrubbery. He stated he fully understood and would call me back once he had sufficient screening. I mean, I don't see where there was any kind of miscommunication. I myself, along with Amanda, states here that she notified him because I sent her an email stating we had a property owner submit an application for an administrative variance on November 26, 2018 for the boat to be parked on the property. He stated that he have not heard anything from the city since dropping off the application. Can you please advise me if this is true? I'll go further to say I don't want to present this case before the magistrate and seem as though the city has dropped the ball. Can you let me know what's going on? She then states, and I'll put it in for you to see, and I'll show it to the property owner as well.
Okay.
This is what I sent to her.
And what date?
February 27.
I sent this to her February 27th on the final reinspection date, asking her what was going on because that's the final day that we do the reinspection. She responded to me that very same day at 5:18, and it states here in my notes I show that I had a telephone conversation with the property owner on February 8th and on January 17th. In the conversation, I informed him of his application, of his options of screening his boat from the property and about the landscaping that would be needed. He stated he fully understood and would call me back when he had sufficient screening. I also have pictures dated from the 7th and 28th on my phone when I conducted my initial site visit if you need them. Please let me know if you need further information or would you like for me to call the applicants back directly. Me and the applicant then spoke on the telephone. I instructed him just putting up the screen wasn't enough. You need to go to Amanda, obtain the variance. That's what I explained to the property owner.
Judge, why don't we just postpone it 30 days so he can get in touch with them and get the variance approved? Because once he gets the variance approved, then he's in compliance that you've done everything.
Exactly.
Yes.
So the thing is, if they cash the check, if I pay my bill and nobody comes after me after that, I mean, once I pay the current, I didn't know that would have to be approved and all the process that you tell me today. So that's what I said. It was there is something that the city has to do to make you understand that the application doesn't mean that you're approved. Because I thought they catch it, I pay my permit, you know, like I pay my driver license, like I pay my tax.
I understand everything you're saying. The city has said that to give you 30 days, I will, but that's not what I gathered from Ms. Sanders. Ms. Sanders indicate that Ms. Murray had an inspection, and I don't know when the inspection took place, but at least back in January, she told you what it is that you needed to do, was to put the screen.
Was now in February. She told me, oh, that was on surprise since November.
So when she came and did her initial inspection, she didn't tell you what needed to be done?
No. When the only time that I talked to her was in February. Okay, so what with the other lady? What happened is then I said like, what is not my approved? It's I paid in November. So December, January, and now February. So you said you have to put a screen to comply. I said, well, I'm gonna put it. She didn't give me a period of time. She
Okay.
didn't say, oh, you have 30 days or you're going to be fined.
Okay.
Not in this case that you're going to be fined or whatever.
All right, that's no problem. All right, let's table it 30 days. Okay? Make sure you speak to everyone involved to make sure that you get your variance. And once you do, inform the code enforcement officer and she can, or basically she can take it off calendar.
Yeah, but it's not your fault, but the letter should say better, like, you know, you have 15 days to comply. Please call for a reinspection once you fix the problem. Call us.
More detailed, huh?
Yeah, more detail. It's just being, you know.
Okay.
Since they pass by there, I mean, we don't think that we have to call for an inspection because it doesn't say anything about it.
Understood. All right, sir. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hampton.
The nenext case is item 24, Leonardo Manson. Karen Jean Lewis is the officer, and the case number is CERCV 2018-00253, item 24.
We need a translator, please.
All right.
So, él es el dueño de la propiedad, yo soy la esposa.
Please state your full name for the record and relationship to the property.
Yunaisi Leal, I'm the wife. I'm gonna be speaking on behalf of him because he had a tracheostomy and he has language issues speaking.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I understand English, but I feel more comfortable, with
Okay.
the translator.
And for him to properly understand the process as well. Please state your full name and relationship to the property.
Diga su nombre completo y relación con la propiedad.
Yunaisi Leal, I'm the property and the wife, and his name is Leonardo Nanson. He's the owner.
All right.
City of North Miami Co-Compliance Officer Karen Jean Lewis.
Ella está presentando el caso.
This property was cited November 30th, 2018 for actually 2 boats being stored at the property without an administrative variance. Notice to appear was posted on December the 14th, 2018. And, no, correction. The notice to appear was posted February 19, 2019. And as of the last reinspection, the boat was still on the property. I did speak to the wife, and she stated that she didn't know that she needed administrative variance. And I did also send her a copy of the notice because she said she never received the original notice of violation. And I also typed up a letter to explain to her the process that was going on with the moratorium for RVs and boats. As of the 12th of February, they were no longer issuing administrative variances for new violations. So I did send her a letter to explain to her, because I confirmed with the code manager that anyone that was cited before that hearing, they would be able to go to CP&D and apply for the variance in order to get the variance for either the boat or RV or whatever it may be.
All right, so you said the initial notice of violation was when?
November 30th, 2018.
Okay, and they needed to comply by when?
They needed to comply by December 14, 2018.
That's briefly about 15 days to comply with obtaining a variance or to apply.
To at least apply.
Okay.
But nothing was done up until the reinspection date, the final reinspection date when I went out on February 19th. There was no application in the system, and when I was going to post the property, I made contact with her husband, and he
Okay.
stated he never received any mailing. And she also did tell me that she spoke to another code officer before who did tell her that she couldn't have the boat, but something about covering the boat. She wasn't sure who she spoke to. And when I checked, I didn't see any last notes from anyone else to see who she spoke to in reference to the boat.
Okay. All right. Ma'am?
Yo hablé con un inspector para septiembre, me dejaron en la casa una nota de un inspector.
On September, I received a letter from an inspector.
Entonces yo lo llamé para atrás diciéndome que necesitaba, había algo de los botes, que no podía tener los botes ahí.
And, I was informed that I couldn't have the boats parked there.
Entonces yo lo llamé y le pregunté que nosotros estamos en la propiedad hace 20 años, que no
And
sabíamos.
I called him. I told him that we've been in the property for 20 years and we didn't know.
Los botes siempre están ahí, nunca nos han dicho nada.
The boats were always there. We never heard anything from anyone.
So, él me dijo a mí que era una nueva ley y que si nosotros cubríamos los botes, no iba a haber problema cuando él viniera a hacer la reinspección.
I was told that it was a new law, and if we cover the boats, there would be no problem.
Entonces ya no recibimos nada y no escuchamos nada del Señor.
I have not received anything else, and have not
So you
heard
suppose-
from that gentleman again.
So, yo supuse que estaba todo en regla, que él había hecho la reinspección, los botes estaban tapados y no había problema.
So I thought that he already made the inspection, and since the boats were covered and there was nothing, no issue left.
Yo llamé aquí al departamento de Code Enforcement para preguntar por el señor y me dijeron que lo habían votado, que ya no
And
trabajaba
I
en eso.
called the code enforcement office, and I was told that that gentleman was fired.
Entonces, la próxima notificación que recibí fue en febrero, que ella la dejó en la casa
So
para
the
la
next
corte.
the next notice I received, it was in February when she left it to come to court.
So, la de diciembre que ella dice, a mí nunca me llegó.
The one on December that she's mentioning, I have not received it.
So, yo lo único que sé, la que recibí es ese. Entonces, vinimos aquí al departamento para sacar el variance y nos dijeron que no lo estaban haciendo.
So we came to the department here to apply for a variance, and I was told that they were not issuing.
Hasta ahora que recibí ahora mismo en camino acá una carta al correo que decía que nos íbamos, esta carta que está aquí la recibí ahora mismo.
And I just received this letter today, just now.
Ajá, la recibí hoy mismo el correo, que dice que nosotros habíamos citado antes de febrero 12, se nos iban a permitir sacar el permiso de voto y nos
That,
mandaron.
in February 12, we were permitted, we could get a variance.
Entonces que yo voy a hacer el variance lo antes posible.
So
Pero,
I am going to apply for variance as soon as possible.
pero mi pregunta es, y lo mismo que le ha pasado a todo el mundo aquí, y lo que le quiero decir a ella.
Well,
Yo sé que
my question is the same as everybody, and I have a question.
yo sé que ellos están haciendo su trabajo,
I know they are doing their work,
pero como mismo nos mandaron a nosotros certificados, una carta para venir aquí, ¿por qué no nos certifican las notificaciones que nos hacen?
we should also get those notifications certified to us so we can receive it.
Porque ahora es la palabra de ellos que la mandaron contra nosotros que no lo recibimos.
Because that is just, their word against our word.
Porque yo no la recibí en diciembre. Si yo lo hubiera recibido, hubiera hecho el permiso y me hubiera dado todo este trabajo que no hemos
I did not receive in December. If I would have received it, I would have saved myself all this trouble.
All right, what is that letter that she showed you that she received? What is
¿Cuál es la
what-
carta esa que acaba de
from the
decir
city?
que la recibió?
The one that I received today,
Yes.
it says that we're gonna be,
¿Cuál
you know,
es- cuál
nosotros
es la
vamos,
carta esa?
Special magistrate?
Yes.
que vamos a
Okay,
que nos van a dar un,
after I spoke to her,
No, give me a second. What is the letter?
I was gonna explain what the letter was because I
Oh,
wrote
okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
After
No, it's okay. She's
after I spoke to her,
Mhm.
explaining to her that there was a moratorium,
Mhm.
we ended up having a staff meeting where our code manager advised us that anyone who was cited before the hearing that the council had, they'd be able to get the administrative variance. So I typed up a letter
Mhm.
and sent it to her with the administrative variance application.
Okay.
So that way she can know what she needs to do and where she needs to go.
Okay.
And although she stated that the notice that I sent back in November, she never received it,
Mhm.
but I mailed it the same way and she received this notice.
Okay. All right. So what did we do for the last person that has the boat issue? We tabled it, right? Did we table for how long? 30 days? Is 30 days enough?
Which
When
is
is your-
fine for her to go ahead and apply.
All right. Okay, ma'am, we'll table your case for 30 days. We're giving you 30 days.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
All right. Next.
The next case is item 39, Victor Christensen. Shanna Sanders is the officer. The case number is CESEA 2018-00002.
Excuse me.
Item 39.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. Please state your full name and relationship to the property.
Jason Sipes, I'm here as GC for the property.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Jason Sipes, here as general contractor for the property.
Okay.
Shanna Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. This is a new case for a seawall that's in need of some repair. I first cited the property owner on October 2nd of 2018. Sent another letter showing here January 13th. I have spoke with the contractor. I haven't made any contact with the property owner. From what I understand, he lives in another state or out the country or something of that nature. I'm not sure, but
Are we going to need a notarized power of attorney from?
We spoke earlier today and she said I could come on his behalf.
but I did want to make sure I get it on record. I did state that, you know, it would be up to, that he might can give testimony as he's being the contractor, but that he may, you know, need some type of power of attorney.
We're simply looking for an extension instead of going through all this because the plans which I have with me today that have been checked in at the city and there's an open permit in process with the city now need to go to Durham, and that's going to take months. I don't want to have to keep going back and forth with Ms. Sanders. We've been on the phone, but she knows it's a lengthy process. We've spoken many times. She knew we were in the process, and she still threw this out here that we have to come here today anyway. 30 days won't do it. Maybe not even 60. It's going to Durham. Could be there for 90 days.
And as the contractor stated, you know, we have spoke, you know, several times. He submitted the application, in November. As I stated, I first initially cited him in December. He submitted the application November, but as of today, nothing has happened. He submitted, I guess, an application, but with no plans or anything attached to it. He stated at that time he was taking them to Durham. As of really today, I think, or either was yesterday we spoke, he still hadn't submitted anything to Durham, and the application is just sitting in the office. Hasn't went through any of the disciplines or anything. So yes, I did proceed to push it forward because, again, an application just sitting there with no type of drawings, any type of, structural plans or anything, no approval or anything to even say that it's in Durham. It's doing nothing, just sitting at the city since November, I think 18th. I'm not sure, but I know it was November sometime. But
it's not just sitting at the city. When we spoke on the phone originally, we put in an application of process number with no plans because the violation only gave 15 days. There's no way to get to Durham, the city here, and an architect and an engineer in 15 days, including weekends, to apply for it. We applied for it because she requested I apply for it, an open permit to open a process number without plans, then go start the process with the engineers and the architects. That's the reason an empty process number is sitting there, because she requested I do that to get something in writing. We knew there were no plans. There was nothing started because we had just received a letter which went to Maryland. It showed up in Maryland a day before it was actually due to be violated here.
And he's correct. I asked him to submit an application, but, the application has been sitting now for 4 months. He's had time to get drawings. He's had time to take whatever he needed to Durham.
And we've been in communication the whole time, her
yes,
and I.
and every time we spoke, I'm working on the plans, I'm working on the plans,
Actually,
I'm working on the plans.
that's not true. The last communication was the owner decided to not repair the seawall, but install a completely new seawall, even upgrade the property. And she knew that, and we did a whole other set of plans, which I have with me here today, stamped by an engineer. And
Again,
also
working
stamped
on
by
the
the
plans.
city, checked in.
What's the date on the stamp?
The date on stamp from the engineer, we picked these up yesterday, and she asked me to check them into the city today. I went and checked them into the city today with the city stamp on them, so now they can go to Durham.
Judge, are you taking testimony on behalf of, without him having the power of attorney or anything? Have we decided that?
We would like to just do an extension so we could keep this process going with Durham. That's all we need. We would like to just have an extension on this so we could take the plans to Durham.
It seems as though the city attorney is asking, are we going to go ahead and proceed with hearing this case, without him having the power of attorney? Are you taking his testimony as the contractor? Since he's only asking, from what he's saying, is for an extension and or tabling.
Well, he did request an extension. I just wanted to know exactly where we were in the process, since you testified that this has been ongoing since November.
And that's why I
And that he
specifically asked him to
submitted.
come, because, I wanted to guarantee that at least he got the plans in the city. He did state that he finally got them back from the architect or engineer. So I said, well, since you have them back, go ahead and submit them to the city. So at least when you come tonight, you can at least show that something has, something else has been submitted to the city since November.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if I
Okay.
can, I can look to see what he has there, what he's submitting, to see, he said something was stamped by the city today, and I was taken over to Durham. I can look to see what he's submitting, but he's showing that the city signed.
All right, you can go ahead and look at it. Typically what I do with cases that are going to take a very long time, for compliance, I usually enter an adjudication and give them, enough time to get things done.
And I'm more than willing to do that. I would definitely like an adjudication, and I'm willing to give as much time as you need. I know Durham is a lengthy process, even if it is something I just don't want this
If I enter
to
an
sit.
adjudication, I can give him up to 90 days.
He's a contractor. Do you think 90 days would suffice?
Possibly. I mean, if it's not going to, could we come back to this with a meeting with her?
Correct.
It's completely up to Durham. It's not up to either of us.
Understood.
I would like to know, when are we going to get these to Durham now, since they've been stamped by the city? Well, let's see now. Okay, yeah, I do see it was, okay, yes, this has been stamped by the city. I'm showing that the records show that it was received on March 6th, which is today, 2019. But again, can we get when this is going to be submitted to Durham now?
We can submit to Durham this week if we have the extension.
All right, so I'll do an adjudication. I'll do 90 days. And I'll also enter a fine amount. And obviously, if you come back in 90 days and we see that you are making progress and things are being submitted accordingly, and if the delay is the city, you know, I typically take that into consideration. But right now, I'll do adjudication 90 days, which brings us to that's May, right? May 29th? Okay, May 29th. And the next court date on that, the next hearing date is June 5th. So we'll be back here on June 5th. I usually enter a daily fine amount, which only comes into effect if I see that nothing is being done on your end. I don't usually typically I don't hold the homeowners responsible for the time that, you know, the application stays with the city, and if the city's taking a long time, then I usually take that into consideration. But for now, I'll do 500. Okay, we'll see you
Okay.
here
Thank you.
in June. Thank you, sir. Have a good evening.
The next case is item 28, Paul M. Vieira. Ernst Baptiste is the officer. The case number is CERCV 2018-00238. The property is 13105 Northeast 11th Avenue. Item 28.
Good evening. Please state your full name for the record.
Enrique Moya, ENRIQUE-MOYA. I'm the owner of the property.
Item 28?
Sorry?
That's not the name that I have for item 28. So what is your name again?
Enrique Moya. It's not the name who appear in the here.
I have
This-
Paul Vieira.
Yep, that's the
Previous owner?
previous owner.
Okay,
yeah.
so you're the new owner of this
Yep.
property? Okay. I guess it's not showing on the property records yet.
Ernst Baptiste, City of Miami, Code Enforcement Officer. This is a case that was opened back in November 15, 2018 for a boat that is parked up front. Property was posted on February 14, 2019. Took picture that day and I took picture on the February 27 and the boat is still there.
Okay. Okay. Sir?
Yes, well, the picture is correct. And this is the only letter I received. It's not under my name. So if they send information before, I really don't know, because it's probably was under this name. I don't open letters that are not under my name. So I don't, the boat and the RV is inside the property. If I have to remove, I remove it. But I don't know nothing about that thing. I could put it in the backyard. I have to build a gate because there is a fence to get it with the RV inside. But I have no preparation for this because I came to try to know what that means, because it's not under my name. That's the main thing here.
When did you move to the property?
In September 2017.
Since September 2017?
I moved to, I bought the property.
When did you have
And
the
it's
vote?
still not showing that he is the
I
owner?
bought actually, I didn't buy, it's a friend of mine. And I have it there like since October last year.
October what?
Past year, October 2018.
Oh, okay.
The boat.
Okay. October
And it's
2018.
inside of the property. Always was inside of the property. I don't know if I have to apply for a variance or what, but I have no information at all about it. So
Okay, I'm surprised that since September 2017 and it's still showing the previous owner.
We couldn't even, we look on, I think it's a name that is blocked. When we put that address, nothing showed.
All right. Okay, so, I'll take him at his word that, because I can see from here that this letter is addressed to someone else. So I'll take him at his word. Then when the mail came, he didn't open it because he didn't know that he had anything to do with him. But I'm assuming when you did you post this one?
Yes.
Okay, so when you saw the posting, then he probably notices that there's a hearing today from code enforcement, so he came here to try to figure out what's going on. But he still have to apply for a variance, and I know that we have the whole, all right, so let's just table it 30 days, that's what we've been doing? Okay, sir. 30 days, in the meantime, you said you have a different area.
I have to apply for the variance and in 30 days come back, or?
Can you explain it?
What did you say?
I'm saying if you can explain it to him, they just apply for it.
Okay, all right. Okay, you can speak to
Okay.
the officer.
Okay.
Okay, all right, sir.
The next two items is 31 and 32. Rainford Reed. John Dorville is the officer. Case number CENBR 2018-00119 and CETMK 2018-00038. Item 31 and 32.
Good evening. Please state your full name and relationship to the property.
Rainford Reed.
All right.
Property owner.
All right.
Marsha Reed, I live at the property.
John Dorval, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. This evening I'm presenting two cases here. One is for the numbers on the property. The property was originally cited on November the 29th, 2018. It's just a question of having the property numbers placed on the actual property itself.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, that would be case CENBR 2018-00119.
Correct.
The second issue with the property is there were illegal markers on the property. They had illegal markers in the swale. That property, that case number is CETMX 2018-0038.
Mm-hmm.
These, in my investigation with another property, I did stop by the property actually after the abatement date. I saw it's complied. However, as requested, the city is moving for court costs because we sent several notices to the property, and we provided proper notice. And so the city's looking. Obviously, I went to the property. I was near the property actually yesterday, and I closed out the violation because it actually was closed out there. You know, they updated the numbers, and they actually removed the markers, the illegal markers on the property. So, but what the city is asking is for court costs due to several notices, several visits to the property.
Can you tell me where you sent the notices? Like what address?
Absolutely. Should have been sent to 16980 North Miami Avenue. That's where a notice to appear and it was noticed at the property.
Okay, where did you get that address from?
That's from the property appraiser page, 465 Northeast 141st Street.
That's from the
what do you call it?
Property appraiser, Miami-Dade County property appraiser page.
Right, so the 1698 on North Miami Avenue?
Yes, sir.
I've never lived
where
there.
that is.
Okay.
So if we're getting notices,
there?
I can understand why.
Right.
You know,
So this is what we got in the plastic bag that was hung on the door.
Absolutely. That's
And then-
the posting. That's a legal posting
Okay,
of a
right.
property.
So,
Yeah.
but the other, whatever you were talking about, we hadn't received it.
Okay.
And I really came here because of the address notification, because I saw that we could have called you guys
Right.
but I didn't know what the address was and I wasn't sure about that. So since it didn't say we had to fix the property or the violations within a specific time, it just said you could call to have you guys re-inspect. I figured the hearing date would be the best place to find out what address all this information was being sent to prior.
Absolutely no issue with that, magistrate. I just want to, obviously part of our job is to educate the residents as well. So we're going to have to talk about the process in the back about getting your property updated.
right, but.
Right.
Right.
So,
Which is nice.
So, I mean, obviously the issue of they didn't receive it, the property appraisers page, I want to go ahead and just close the case. It's complied. We'll talk to them. We'll educate the resident about the issue of getting this updated so that when they do receive proper notice, and we can call it, but at this point, we can obviously call the case closed.
All right,
Okay.
wonderful. All right, guys, have a good evening.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Here, Pilar. Pilar.
Doorbell.
John.
The next case is item 29, Pierre Derry. Ernest Baptiste is the officer. The case number CEGMP 2018-00102, item 29.
Good evening, sir. Please state your full name and relationship to the property.
My name is Pierre Derry, property address 170 Northeast 128th Street, North Miami.
Okay, sir.
Ernest Baptiste, City of Miami Code Enforcement Officer. This is a case that was opened back in March 27, 2018. Case has been postponed and tabled many times. Posted the property. It's for a roof that needs to be repaired and we moved up. Property was posted on February 14, 2019. Took picture on February 27, the last time I did my inspection, and roof is still in the same condition.
Thank you, sir. I see, I know.
Okay. All right, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Last time I come here, I was telling you the whole rooftop was having the whole roof was covered with blue top.
Right.
So I fixed temporarily all the front of the house.
Mhm.
I removed all the blue top, only one little part from the back of the house that have blue tops on it. And it was after the hurricane that I have a lawsuit with Citizen to fix the roof because they don't want to fix the roof. Finally, my lawyer called me last week. They're gonna go to court with them next week. So my lawyer told me it will take another month to fix the problem by the time to go to court. And 2 weeks ago they sent somebody to appraiser. I have appraiser already done. All they have to do now is going to court. I think the date, if I forgot to bring the paper here with me, I think the date will be next week to go to court. So I'm coming here. I think if you give me another, how do you call it? Another
extension.
Extension,
Mhm.
maybe another 2-3 months. I think by that time, the roof's supposed to be done because I have two contractor already. I'm getting estimate from two contractor. So what I have to do after they give me okay, the case is done, then they're gonna give me the money. So I have to have the contractor gonna put the permit for me so the roof could be done. So it's a problem for me to come here all the time, and also it's another problem for me to stay in a house when the roof is leaking. So I will ask you for another extension, maybe in maybe 2-3 months. I think by that time the roof supposed to be ready.
Okay.
We have an adjudication and then give them 3 months.
Yes, that would be nice.
Okay. All right, I enter an adjudication in 90 days. And you understand what that means, sir?
What do you mean by what that means?
That I find that you are in violation, and then I enter and I'm giving you 3 months to
correct it.
To correct it. Okay. All right.
But between that time, if the work started, so I will call him and tell him they've started the roof. So if the roof is not ready in 90 days, I could talk to him. I don't know what he can do, but the work supposed to, in about 3 or 4 weeks, I have a good feeling that the process will be started.
Okay. And if you have to come back here within the 90 days, then I'll need to see how far along we are and what's going on with the process.
So far, I've been waiting for that time is because of the law. Even though this process is slow, they take time. So
correct.
It's not me.
Okay. All right, sir. What did I miss? All right, adjudication 90 days, and then let's do 250 per day. Okay.
We have the gentleman, but I don't know who he is.
Sir.
Okay, did you get what I said?
Yeah,
Okay.
You, sir. You're the last person.
I do.
Are you here for a case? Yes, sir. Please step up. I'm good? You need a translator?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good luck to you.
He doesn't need it.
All right, guys. Thank you. Well, our interpreters are released. Thank you.
Yeah, but 1140 Northeast 143.
Okay, so that's case number 25, Leota Dolphin. Ernst Baptiste is the officer. The case number is CEPFY 2018-00714, item 25. Leota Dolphin.
Ernst Baptiste, City of Miami Code Enforcement Officer. This is a case that was open for a car park on the grass in front. Opened the violation November 29, 2018. Visited the property on February 14, 2019. Took picture and post the property the same day. Car still parked up front. This is the first time I've seen the gentleman here.
First time I've seen you also, yeah.
All right, sir. Is this your vehicle?
No, ma'am. Sorry, that's a grand uncle of mine. He's 75 years of age. He did. I think you met him. He did say somebody somebody told him that he couldn't park on the yard and everything and all of that. And I think you posted something and it was a violation. And then I told him not to park. Then he said okay. And so time to time, he comes there and all that. He hardly could walk. and the fact he parks on the grass. The neighbors tell me, but a lot of times when I come, you know, when I'm there, he's not even there and everything. So I live in West Palm Beach, so I'm back and forth. And so, you know, I mean, the only thing I could think is, you know, probably to let him go stay somewhere else or kick him out or call the police on him and all that, because he's very difficult. You know, he said he barely can walk, and time to time he comes. As you can see, I keep the yard well manicured and all of that, and my neighbors do tell me time to time he does park on the lawn and everything. I guess periodically when the code enforcement, you know, rides by there, you know, he sees that. You know, he sees that he's parked on the lawn and all of that, and he's a stubborn old grand uncle of mine and everything, you know, so I really don't know what I should do, if I should just kick him out, you know. I mean, I don't know what to do, you know, with him, you know. And like I said, I wish I would have met the code enforcer, and after I would have tried, you know, but it'd be like, even if he comes a day that he does come and may pass inspection, but then again, he'll be parked probably back on that, you know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, I shouldn't be.
Because he's trying to get closer to the door, and I do understand what he's doing. He's trying to get closer to
Yeah.
the front door.
Yeah.
He's 75 years
Yeah.
old. He's not trying to walk a mile to get to his front gate, to his
You
front
know.
door. So I
But
understand.
I'm sure you ride by there sometime and it's not there, but I'm sure when you ride back again, you'll see the car there. You know, he goes out, you know, I mean, and he comes back, and he parks, you know, so. You know. I mean, the only thing I can do is kick him out, you know, I mean, I get his family to put him in a home or anything, you know. He still drives, he's still capable, but he's very stubborn, you know, I mean, you know, so.
All right. Can you tell him that we're giving him one more opportunity to make
Okay,
sure that he needs to park? So he's able to park here, correct?
Yes, he's able
Officer
to park there. Yeah.
Baptist, he can park here?
Yeah, he can park there. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes he's there.
So tell him that I told him that he needs to park right here.
Okay.
And, you know, the little bit of exercise will help him.
I agree.
So he can walk to the front door, but he's not allowed to park where this
On the
car
grass.
is right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
You understand?
Mhm.
Let him know.
Okay.
And let him know that if he has to come back here, you're going to bring him with you.
Okay, oh, please, I'll
Okay.
yeah, I agree.
All right. So I'll table it. Okay? Good
Okay.
luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
All right. Let's keep it moving.
The next case is item 33, Ramon Gonzalez. Wayne Clark is the officer. The case number is CEGMP 2018-00440.
Excuse me. Is that his case?
Okay, next item, yeah, but he went to the restroom. Next item is item 1 through 7. John Dorval is the officer. It's 580 North Miami LLC. Case number MHVIO 2018-01335, 336, 338, 339, 340, 1341, and 1343.
Good evening, John Dorval with the City of North Miami Code Compliance Office. Just want to state that MHVIO 2018-01336 is complied.
336, okay, complied. Mm-hmm.
This is an ongoing issue with this particular building. They have several violations. Initially, it was actually, the violations were written originally on December the 14th, 2018. Various violations, broken windows, windows with no screens on them, cracks on the concrete steps, no exit doors on the end for the exits towards the stairs, entrance or exit doors. There are no doors present on the staircases. Wood board on the windows, on the interior windows of a property, exterior windows of the property. In addition to broken and damaged mailbox doors. This property, all these were cited on the same date. Property was posted on 2/13/19 at 2:15 p.m. The notice to appear, so proper notice. I've spoken to the one of the managing individuals of the property. We've discussed the issues, and they haven't been addressed as to this date. I have pictures if you'd like to see.
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
And notice.
This building actually is occupied with tenants. For the record, the pictures are photos of said violations, examples of each.
Is it like a multi-unit building?
This is a multi-unit building. It has 3 levels.
Okay.
And I said it appears to be, obviously it is occupied, however, it appears to be sparsely occupied. However, there still are individuals in and out. There's a lot of activity coming out of that building. So there's some life safety issues as it pertains to the broken glass, not having doors on the doors leading to the staircase, broken glass screens with no, windows with no screening. So, and then obviously the damage to the concrete.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violations do exist. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. Hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Owner has until March 27th by which to resolve the violation. Should the violation not be resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount. I will run everything concurrent. Let's say about daily fine amount of $350, and that's for each case. Correct.
The next case is item number 8, Ahmed Elfiki. Ernest Baptiste is the officer. Case number CEJNK 2018-00222, item number 8.
What do I, oh. Put it all the way over there.
Ernest Baptiste, City North Miami Code Enforcement Officer.
What item number? I'm sorry. 8. Got it.
Case was open for junk in the back, rear of the property. Case was opened back in November 25, 2018. We inspected the property on February 14, posted the property on February 14. Took picture, still a part of trash, tires in the back.
Alright. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. Also find good notice, given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. I hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Owner has until March 27th by which to resolve the violation. If the violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $200.
The next item is item 33. Wayne Clark is the officer. Case number CEGMP 2018-00440. Item 33.
What's going on there? Wayne Clark City, North Miami Code Compliance. This is reference to general maintenance of the property. The property was posted with a good notice February 12, 2019 at 3 p.m. They were asked to remove the dirt mildew from the window awnings and to paint an improved color. To date, I had no contact with the owners or tenants, whoever's in charge of the property. And today it's still, it's the same. I'd like to submit the photos for the record. The first notification went out on December 5th, 2018, and the original reinspection date was January 8th, 2019.
How about notice for today's hearing?
I can't hear you.
Notice for today's hearing, you said?
Yes, that was on. It's attached to that, right? I think it was February 12th. Is what?
Correct. Okay.
2019. Okay.
All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. Hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Owners have until March 27th by which to resolve the violation. Should the violation not be resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $250.
The next item on the agenda is 13. Karen Jean Lewis. Case number CEPFY 2018-00628. Item number 13.
Good evening, Code Compliance Officer Karen Jean Lewis. This property was originally cited September 5th, 2018 for parking on the front lawn. Notice to appear was posted on February 13, 2019. AOS is on file. And I see here that on the 7th, was the 7th of February was the last hearing where they were found guilty and they had to abate the fine by the 27th. And the violation still remains.
Okay.
Oh, did you want to see? Oh, sorry. These are pictures taken from the 5th.
These are from February 5th. I thought they were from March 5th.
No. The last time I was at the property was in February, not March.
Okay. I have must abate by February 27th. When was the last time you were there?
The reinspection date was the 27th.
Huh?
The reinspection date was the 27th.
And you didn't take any photographs?
I'm looking in the file. I don't see that I put them in here, but I did take pictures. I have the pictures for the posting. No, I don't have any pictures in the folder from that date.
All right, I'm going to table it. 30 days.
The next item is item number 15, Karen Jean Lewis, case number CEBPR 2018-00044, Ignacia Voltaire. Item number 15.
City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer Karen Jean Lewis complied.
Okay.
Item number 16, Karen Jean Lewis, CEWWC 2018-00120, Frenu Simeon. Item 16.
Good evening, Code Compliance Officer Karen Jean Lewis. On August the 16th, this property was cited for the roof that's in disrepair. There's a blue tarp on the roof. Notice to appear was posted on February the 19th. Correction. Notice to appear was posted on February the 13th, 2019. And as of the date of the posting, the tarp still remains on the roof.
When was your last date of inspection?
The 13th at 4:40 p.m. when I went to go post the notice to appear.
Okay. We're gonna run into the same problem because the abatement date is February 27th.
You can go ahead and table it.
The next item is 17. Shanna Sanders is the officer for Grupo TFJ CELDR 2016-00001. Item number 17.
Shanna Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. This is a new case. It was first originally cited. Give me a moment, because this is an old one. I want to make sure I'm giving out the right information. It was originally cited January 8th, 2016. Not going to give every date that we've been back and forth, with the property, because it's been tabled quite a bit, sent quite a bit of notices, has been asked to come before the magistrate on several occasions, I'm showing here. It's a case for the land development regulations, the ordinance regarding land development regulations for the Fiat dealership on 110 Biscayne Boulevard. The best way I could present this case is by first presenting or informing you of the contract that the city has with the Fiat dealership. It opened up a contract with Fiat stating that they would issue them a business license, but they were only allowed to have 20 vehicles parked at the property, for which 30% of them were allowed to be used cars. We started receiving complaints that after they obtained the business license, on several different occasions, more than 20 cars have been cited there. I can go down to different dates that I visited the property, whereas more than 20 vehicles were parked upon my first initial inspection when I first visited in January 2016. There were 32 vehicles. went back again February 23rd. There was at that time 41 vehicles, for which 10 of them were used. Moving forward all the way back from January 20th, August 15th, September, so forth and so on. Every time I visit the property, there has been more than what the city is allowing them to have at the property. Last inspection I did was on actually the 27th, for which I noted 42 new vehicles and 14 used. As of the 27th, the Fiat dealership is not complying to what the city has agreed to let them do. So, we're asking that this case be adjudicated. I can show you photos. As you see, it's kind of a big packet. You can look through the back and forth as in, the different things that, the city has been asking. But again, as of today, well, not even going to say today, I'm so used to saying that. As of the 27th, have photos of the property still showing multiple vehicles being parked there. I am showing that proper service was given. I hand-delivered the notice to appear to a gentleman by the name of Jazz Vasquez. I'm showing here on the 15th. Wait a minute, let me make sure. Yeah, notice to appear for the March 6th special magistrates was hand-delivered to Jazz at 11:50 a.m. But again, I can show you the photos if you would like to see. Have you spoke with anyone from Fiat? I don't want to know if you want to get that on record. Every time, you can see here, it's been asked to be presented before the special magistrate, and every time they've come, they've stated that, they've been, asking for extensions. Again, this has been dating back to January 8th of 2016. As you see here tonight, no one is here. So the city is asking to, go ahead and, adjudicate this case.
So there's been hearings. They've actually showed up for the
No,
hearings
they
and
have
it
never
continued?
showed up. I'm showing here.
Because I see this case went back to, we're going back to 2016.
Yes, I'm showing. Yeah, exactly. And as you see here,
So
if you
this is
look,
the first time
this is the
here
first.
before the special magistrate?
Exactly. It's been, like you say, going back from February 2016. The city was, trying to work something out with them. We were giving them time to come in and possibly change their licensing agreement. It didn't happen. So, on May 20th, I'm seeing that we went ahead and, proceeded to request for it to come before the magistrate. At that time, I'm showing here that their attorney, I don't even want to say who it is because it doesn't say here, asked for it to be tabled. We gave them 6 months. I'm showing another notation that they came back again December. At that time, Blanchard gave them another 6 months, came back that June of 2017. Says postponed by Jennifer Warren till March 6, but it's been going back and forth. So yeah, this is the first time we're actually, presenting the case, requesting adjudication, but yeah.
All right. And they were given notice for today's hearing?
They were giving notice. I'm showing here that I hand-delivered the notice to appear to a Jazz.
I see Jazz's name came up a couple of times here.
I'm seeing you gotta kind of look back because it's sorry now that they didn't change it. I'm showing it doesn't, the order doesn't fall in order anymore like it used to. I'm showing here February 15th that I noticed to appear for the March 6th special magistrate hearing was hand-delivered to Jazz at 11:50 a.m.
Okay. All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation still exists. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear, hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Owners have until March 27th by which to resolve the violation. If the violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount. What do you say about this? It's been going on for so long. Daily fine amount of $500.
The next item is 21. Ernst Baptiste is the officer. Jose E. Baca, CEIVY 2018-00439, item 21.
Ernst Baptiste, City of Miami, Code Enforcement Officer. This is a case that was open for a white truck not in drivable condition. That's parked. It's full of junk and flat tires in front of the property. Property was posted on February 14, 2019. Took picture on February 27, 2019. I've spoken to the owner and nothing has been done to correct the violation.
Okay. Oh. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. Also find good notice, given proper notice to owners that failed to appear. Hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Owners have until March 27th by which to resolve the violation. If the violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $300.
The next item is item 22, Shanna Sanders, Jose I. Perez, CESRR 2018-00067, item 22.
Shanna Sanders, City of North Miami Code Compliance Officer. This is a new case for non-compliance or not being in compliance with our ordinance for the real estate signs. This I apologize. This violation was originally opened November 19, 2018. Sent the second letter on December 3rd, 2018. As of last week, February 27th, when I re-inspected the property, I noted that the sign was still in non-compliance. The real estate sign, per the notation I have here, needs to have the zoning classification when it's a residential property. And I can show pictures if you would like to see of the residential sign that does not have any zoning classification of any nature on the sign. I am showing that proper service was given. Notice to appear was posted at the property February 15th at 11:17 a.m. Have not had any contact with anybody at the property. Tried to call the number on the real estate sign, but it's showing that the voicemail is full. Again, as of last week, February 27th, no zoning classification is on the real estate sign that's posted in the front of the property.
Let's see.
Our code states that, again, zoning classification needs to be placed on there. If it's a single-family home, multifamily, things of that nature, the sign needs to read that, unless it's a commercial property.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owner has failed to appear. Owners have failed to appear. I hereby find in favor of the city and enter an adjudication. Property owners have until March 27th by which to resolve the violation. If a violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $150.
The next item is 23, John Dorville. Laura C. Lopez is the customer, and the case is CEGMP 2018-00450, item 23.
This case is a new one in reference to the property listed as 535 Northeast 133rd Street. It is in reference to missing tile on the front of the property. This property was initially cited on December the 7th, 2018. Proper notice was given, and the notice of to appear was posted on 2/12/19 at 2:05 p.m. I have pictures.
And where is this?
This is missing tiles in the front of the property. It's a duplex, one side, versus, obviously two doors, two sections with tile, and that section is missing that large section of tile in it.
Okay. All right. And you said it was posted when?
It was posted on the property 2/12/19 at 12:05 p.m.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I also find good notice. Given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. Hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Owners have until March 27th by which to resolve the violation. If the violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $150.
Next item is 27, Ernst Baptiste is the officer, Michelle and Adrian Alexandra. Case number CEJNK 2018-00218, item 27.
Ernst Baptiste, City of Miami Code Enforcement Officer. This is a new case that was opened back in November 19, 2018 for junk on the side of the property. Property was posted on 2/14/19 at 3:20 p.m. and I took picture on my last inspection, February 27, 2018. Junk item still leaning against the wall.
All right. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. Also find good notice. Given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. Hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Property owners have until March 27th by which to resolve the violation. If the violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $150.
The next item is item number 30, John Dorville is the officer, Prestige Cornerstone LLC, CEMHS 2018-00038, item 30.
This is in reference to a commercial, actually a residential building, multi-unit, which is commercial, that has several units. This has been going on since December the 3rd of 2000. They were actually noticed on December 3rd, 2018. It's in reference to leaks in the building. This building is under renovation currently and has very few residents. It's a multi-unit building, but it has very few residents, but they're still having this issue with leaking in the hallways of the building. My picture is an example of one of the leaks. There are various leaks throughout the hallways of this particular building, but once again, it is under construction, and they are doing renovations, but there are still occupants, residents in the city, of the city.
Right. Okay.
Posted on 2/12/19 at 4:07 p.m.
Okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. Also find good notice, given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear. I hereby find in favor of the city and turn adjudication. Owners have until March 27th by which to resolve the violation. If that violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $350.
The next item is item 37. John Dorville is the officer. Sedama Investments, MHVIO 2018-01346.
This violation is for a commercial building with missing signage on top. So this is a lit or lighted commercial sign that has no frontage on it. So the wiring, in addition to the lighting, are exposed to the elements. I have pictures. It was initially cited on 12/17/2018. I posted it on 2/12/19 at 3:40 p.m. And I'll show you the pictures. The photos I'm showing is, the photo that I am showing is specific, the issue. It is a signage which is lit, it has electrical attached to it that's missing the frontage.
Is it a safety issue?
I believe it's a safety issue with it being exposed to the elements. You have electrical elements that can get wet and cause a fire, could possibly cause a fire.
All right, based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I'm sorry, I guess while asking you the question, I forgot to document when you said it was posted.
It was posted 2/12/19 at 3:40 p.m.
Okay. All right. I also find good notice, given proper notice, the owners have failed to appear, hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Owners have until March 27th by which to resolve the violation. If the violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $500 only because of the safety hazard issues raised by the code enforcement officer.
The last case on the agenda, item 38, Ernest Baptiste is the officer. Ulrich Merle, CENUS 2018-02538.
Ernst Baptiste, City of Miami, code enforcement officer. This is a case that was open for two wrecked car parked on the property. Spoke to the owner, instructed that the wrecked car cannot be stored at the property, and posted the property on 2/14/2019 at 2:30 p.m. This is a new case that was open back in November 30th, 2018. Took picture on February 14, 2019 of the wrecked car. It's still there.
What's going on with this one? Oh, okay. I don't know. Me. Huh? Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah.
That's okay.
I think it's one of yours, Mr. Doville. I was inquiring about it because I still had it and I don't have any notations, which means that we didn't hear it yet. Okay, I apologize, Mr. Baptiste. Tell me about 214.
214, 2019.
19, okay. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation still exists. I find good notice, given proper notice. The owners have failed to appear. Hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Owners have until March 27th by which to resolve the violation. If the violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $200.
And the last case is item 14. John Dorville is the officer. Case CENUS 2018-02574.
The last case for the evening
You're so
is,
lucky.
as always, as usual, is a nuisance case. This is for a property. This is actually a vacant lot right next to a duplex.
Mhm.
The vacant lot owner has had this tree, which has fallen on the gate of the duplex owner's property and has crossed completely over on their property since, I believe, Hurricane Irma.
Mhm.
This case, this violation was actually initially opened on 12/7/2018. It's a nuisance case. However, I obviously didn't want to interject the city in the property dispute, but I did cite them for having the tree on the from one property being laying on the other side to another. I have pictures. It was posted on 2/12/19 at 3:12 p.m. It is a fairly large tree, and the property owner, the adjacent property owner, just to clean up their property, which actually I had spoken to them about the property at the city's request, that they cut some of the limbs and tidy up the property. So I am aware that the property owner went to some great expense to have what was the remnants, of not only the remnants, but actually just partial remnants of the tree removed from her property.
Mhm. Based on the unrebutted testimony of the code enforcement officer and the evidence presented, I find that the violation does exist. I also find good notice, given proper notice. The owners have failed to appear. Hereby find in favor of the city, enter an adjudication. Owners have until March 27th by which to resolve the violation. If the violation is not resolved by the abatement date, there will be a daily fine amount of $350.
And those are all the cases on the agenda.
All right, we are adjourned.